Hi, I'm Oshi and I have less than 24 hours to create a costume for a Halloween party. The last time I went to a Halloween party was in 2014, and ever since I really got into early medieval history about a year later, I have wanted to dress up as Pope Formosus, a very unfortunate historical figure whose corpse was dug up in 897 so that he could participate in the trial that we remember today as the Cadaver Synod. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert on medieval papacy, nor am I an expert on medieval fashion, so take everything with a grain of salt. I was invited a few days ago and I wasn't sure if I would be able to go until yesterday, but it isn't as big of a deal as it sounds. First of all, my vision is to present a few attributes that make me recognizable, but I want to keep it very minimalistic and a bit abstract. Second, if you look at paper regalia from the high or late Middle Ages onwards, they are very complex and luscious. But the 9th century seems to have been a simpler time. For example, we don't have the tiara, thank God. So, the two main items I've chosen to represent my identity are the mitre and the pallium. I've been thinking about a crozier, but I wasn't entirely sure if it would have been historically accurate, and obviously I don't have the time for due diligence, so I'm skipping it. It would have been a pain in the ass to model anyway. As for the rest, I'm gonna be wearing a long black summer dress, black ski underwear, and this pair of flats, because I want to invert the white color palette that's commonly associated with the Pope, and also because we think of black as a funeral color. So I'll also use black cardboard for the mitre, and the only thing I'm keeping white to make it pop is the pallium. Thankfully, the mitre in the early Middle Ages is a bit less complicated geometrically than today, so that's gonna be pretty clear-cut, pun intended. The only thing I'm not 100% sure about is whether it's supposed to have those stripes, so I'll have to look at a couple of contemporary illustrations, but it's just a simple paint job anyway that I can do within a few minutes if needed. The pallium was originally a long band of wool worn around the shoulders in a very relaxed style, with the two ends hanging from the left shoulder. But as time went on, it became more abstract. You'll see what I mean if you look at this illustration. And in the 9th century, it was worn sewn together to make it Y-shaped. Because I don't have time to come up with a proper sewing pattern, I'm gonna be blunt and just cut it out from a white t-shirt. Making it symmetrical and even will be tricky, and hemming it will definitely be a nightmare, but it is what it is. Here's a fun fact. I hate sewing, which is pretty ironic considering that my family name literally means seamster. I'm also gonna be wearing makeup, but since I think that both skeleton face paint and black metal corpse paint would be cheesy, because, you know, I want to keep the entire thing minimalistic, I'm just gonna make myself look very pale and gaunt. So basically, this is all I have. And now I'm starting off by dyeing my hair because it looks a bit brassy and it would ruin the vibe. And then I'll be back to try and figure out the pallium situation so that I wouldn't have any big surprises tomorrow. I'm trying so hard to find out what my mitre is supposed to look like, but I'm looking at literally everything on Gallica, and this is just an example of what I'm doing. Like, this is the manuscript itself, and here you get the description, and I can check for illustrations and decorations. And if I find something that piques my interest, then I leaf through the codex itself. This looks like something that I might be interested in. So let's see. Which one was it? Recto or verso? Yes. Oh, come on. Back when I was working on our poster for Leeds, I copied a bunch of these little faces from different manuscripts, but what the hell is this supposed to be? It's not that clear-cut, is it? Who would have thought that it was gonna be the mitre that trips me up this bad? Anyway, I'm gonna cut it short, just make one that's cone-shaped and hollow in the middle. That's what people recognize anyway. I'm gonna paint the bottom silver and that's it. I'm just worried that some expert will come along and say, oh, by the way, your mitre is dog shit. By the way, there's record of a blessing by Arnulf, the Archbishop of Narbonne, and several other bishops from the turn of the 10th, turn of the 9th and the 10th century. That seems to have been part of a ritual meant to absolve the Count of Roussillon from an earlier excommunication. Back in 2020, when I was active on a different channel, I already used it as a gag or teaching prop in a video where I was jokingly trying to lift a terrible curse off my dissertation, and now it's time to bring it back as a party trick. I don't even have to change the pronouns because it's already in second person plural as a sign of respect. I only need to look up the proper intonation and hand gestures and then memorize it. Let's talk palio before I finally go to bed. So basically, I'm gonna follow the neckline roughly on both sides, find the middle, put a pin in here, just connect the dots with a straight line, then just go all the way down to the bottom. And I think that's it. It will take an awful lot of time to hem, but it seems easy, at least. Good night.
It's the next morning, and as I was waking up, my first thought was that maybe I shouldn't be a perfectionist about the pallium, because I still have to finish cleaning the apartment, then I'm meeting with a friend in the afternoon, and I'm spending the weekend with family, so I have to pack my bag for that. So maybe I should just cut it out from the t-shirt, no hemming, no anything, and that's it. I'm a bit worried about fraying on the sides, but it's just one evening. Also, nobody will notice. Et benedictio Dei omnipotentis, Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, descendat super vos et maneat semper. I've just realized that sometimes when you cut textile, the sides roll up and it looks terrible, so that's a possibility.
Before I do literally anything else, I want to try my makeup. My original plan for makeup was to heavily contour my face with black and white and use copious amounts of black eyeshadow around my eyes to give them that sunken look, but as you will see, it didn't work out exactly as I planned. So this is a white face paint stick. It's oil-based, which is not ideal because I have oily skin, but I'll use setting powder. Anyway, it's pretty strong. I like it. First, I tried combining the white face paint with black eyeshadow, but as I started to blend it in with a brush, I simultaneously smudged the face paint. So then I tried the dark lipstick because it had a similar consistency, but it still didn't look right, regardless of which product I applied first. Maybe I should let the whole contouring thing go and just paint myself white. I think I look sickly enough. This is great, actually. Here comes the moment of truth with the t-shirt. Look, it rolls up. There are two ways to solve this problem. I could either spend hours I don't have hemming the pallium, or simply just count with a margin on both sides. However, right now I have to prioritize the mitre. So first I'm gonna measure my head circumference, then I'm gonna just draw the shape on a sheet of paper, and then fold it in half, trace the top part to make it look even, symmetrical, and then I'm just gonna transfer it to the cardboard. Oh, but first I'm gonna make a trial version because I only have one shot at getting it right on the cardboard. The moment of truth. So good. I got it right. I have only a couple of hours left, so as for the pallium, I've decided to go with the margin of error version. I have a pretty decent 9 centimeter wide stripe, and measuring from this edge, it ends somewhere here, which is really convenient. So all I need to do is put a pin where it looks the best and then just connect the dots, and I basically have the pattern. It doesn't look too promising, but let me try it on anyway. Not good, not good. Also, I didn't have time to memorize the blessings, so I'm going with the short one I practiced the intonation with. I guess I'm gonna finish the mitre and then try it on together with the rest of my costume. It doesn't stick. I've got super glue all over my fingers. Great. It does stick eventually, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Shit! Oh! Anyway, let me try it on real quick. Oh, wow! Oh! I really wanted the pallium because it would have pulled the entire look together, but in any case, I can salvage the situation with a few statement pieces. Maybe even this one. Yay! Everybody thought that my gangster bishop obsession was cringe, but here I am. So I'm all set. I'm meeting my friend in a few minutes and then I come home, dress up and go. It's finally happening. few drops of Divin Enfant. Nicra sum sed formosa. So excited.
This is our church.
Et omnes benedictiones novi et veteris testamentis super vos veniant. Amen. Okay, let me sum it up. I wanted a mitre, I had a mitre. I wanted a pallium, I didn't have a pallium, but I did have jewelry. I wanted corpse-like makeup, I had corpse-like makeup. I wanted to memorize a pretty long blessing. I didn't, but I didn't even have the opportunity to perform it. So I would say the execution was a solid 7 out of 10. But my friends seemed to like my costume and I had a lot of fun, so the experience was 10 out of 10 and I think that's what really counts. I'll see you soon. Until then, take care. Bye.